What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ravi Wadan, and in today's video, I want to talk about my favorite truck lease deals in January of 2025. So in this video, we're going to go over 7 different truck lease deals. So if you're currently in the market or shopping for a new truck, I think you'll get a lot of value from this video, and I'll explain why leasing these particular trucks actually makes more sense than financing these particular trucks. What we'll do is we'll cover each one of the national lease offers for these trucks, and we'll go over things like the mileage, and we'll go over all the little nitty-gritty details, and I'll give you lots of helpful tips and tricks along the way. And then we'll also run my 1.25% rule of leasing on each one of these trucks, and you'll see why each one of these trucks respectively is a great lease deal in terms of value. And before we jump into the video, I do want to let you know that I do offer one-on-one lease buying or financing coaching for your new car purchase. So if you want some one-on-one coaching and you want to see if a particular lease deal is a good deal, or you want to learn how to shop, or if you want to learn how to negotiate a great lease deal, you can check out my link in the description below, or you can go to the link in my bio, depending on which platform you are watching this video on. But with that, let's go ahead and jump into the computer behind me and talk about these awesome truck lease deals. All right, let's go ahead and get this video started with my first truck lease deal. As you can see here, we have a 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5, which can be leased for $299 a month. It's a 36-month lease that requires $3,999 due at signing. Now, as you can see, this is the 4-wheel drive double cab SR5. It has the 8-speed automatic transmission, and this lease allows for 12,000 miles a year. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, you can get 12 or 15,000 miles a year, and the payment will increase slightly. Now, if we read the fine print on this vehicle, let's actually go ahead and zoom in here. You'll see that the MSRP on this truck is $42,144. Now, if we run my 1.25% rule of leasing on this Toyota Tacoma right here, you'll see that it's a great lease deal in terms of value. So what we're going to do is we're going to run my 1.25% calculation. And if you get a number under 1.5%, that's a good lease deal. If you get a number under 1.25%, that's a great lease deal. And if you get a number under 1%, that's an amazing lease deal. And we're going to run these numbers without tax, title, license, registration, and dealer fees, because that really varies a lot depending on where you live. So what we're going to do is take the $3,699 that's due at signing. We're going to subtract the $299 monthly payment from that amount, since it's included in the due at signing amount that you see here. And then what we'll do is we'll divide this by 36, this $3,400 by 36, and that breaks that due at signing amount into 36 equal parts. And then we'll add the monthly payment of $299 back in, and that gives us a zero down monthly payment of $393 a month. And if we divide this by this truck's MSRP, which is $42,144, $42,144, and multiply by 100, you get 0.93%. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a sub 1% lease deal. So it's an amazing lease deal in terms of value. And if you were to finance this truck over a 3-year period at least, you're going to pay a lot more out of pocket for this truck than if you were to lease it at this price right here. Now remember, this is not a negotiated price. This is the lease ad directly from Tacoma. Now some dealers will honor this, some dealers will not. So it just depends on where you're shopping and the techniques that you use. Again, I do offer one-on-one coaching and consulting, so you can check out the link in the bio or the description below and book a one-on-one call with me. Or you can go to DriveMatch.com, because we do have some Toyota Tacomas on DriveMatch.com, and those are pre-negotiated lease deals that are actually better than this national lease offer listed right here. All right, now let's move on to deal number 2. Right here we have a Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 with a 5'7" box. And this is a 2024 model year. And as you can see here, you have a monthly payment of $379 a month. It's a 39-month lease that requires $3,669 due at signing. And again, tax, title, and license is extra. And if we go ahead and click on show disclosure, you'll see that the MSRP on this truck is $54,185. Oh, it's actually giving me a little bit of trouble, so let me actually click on show disclosure again. It's down here listed in small print, $54,185, and you'll also see that this lease allows for 10,000 miles a year. Now, if we were to run my 1.25% rule of leasing on this truck, let's go ahead and do that. We'll take the $3,669 that's due at signing, subtract $379 from that amount, and you get $3,290. We'll divide this by 39 since it's a 39-month lease. You get $84, and then we'll add the monthly payment of $379 back in, and that gives us a zero down monthly payment of $463 a month. Let me just double check this MSRP. It's $54,185. We'll divide this by 54,185. Multiply this by 100 to make it a percentage, and you get 0.85%. So ladies and gentlemen, this is another sub 1% lease deal, not factoring in tax, title, and license. But the kicker with this deal is you'll see that it's for qualified returning FCA US lessees. So essentially there's a loyalty rebate built into this deal. It's a $2,000 loyalty rebate, but even if you don't get the loyalty rebate, this is still, I think, a 1% or a sub 1% lease deal. So it's still a great lease deal in terms of value. Now, the third lease deal on my list is this 2024 GMC Sierra 1500 short box crew cab, 4-wheel drive, elevation with a turbo max engine. You can lease this truck for $469 a month. It's a 36-month lease that requires $4,789 due at signing. Now, if we read the fine print of this lease, you'll see that it allows for 30,000 miles, or 10,000 miles a year. And the MSRP on this truck is written way down here in the bottom. It's $57,195. Now, if we run my 1.25% rule of leasing on this GMC Sierra, you'll see that it's also a great lease deal in terms of value. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's take the $47.89 that's due at signing. Let's subtract the monthly payment of $469. We'll divide this by 36 since it's a 36-month lease. And you get $120, and then we'll add the monthly payment of $469 back in. You get a zero down payment of $589. Again, that's with $0 down. And the MSRP on this truck is... I just read it a second ago, and I can't seem to find it anymore. Oh, $57,195. So let's divide this by 57,195. Multiply this by 100. And as you can see, it's at 1.02 or 1.03 if we round it percent. So 1.03% for a GMC Sierra 1500 is a great lease deal. It's almost a 1% lease deal, not factoring in tax, title, license, and additional dealer fees. And the fourth truck lease deal is the 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500 crew cab with the same turbo max engine. It's a 4-wheel drive model. It's a very similar truck to the GMC Sierra, and as you can see here, you can lease it for $409 a month. It's a 36-month lease that requires $5,979 due at signing. This lease also allows for 10,000 miles a year, and if we click on the star here, you'll see that the MSRP is $49,945. So it's a lower monthly payment than the GMC, but I don't think it's going to be quite as good of a lease deal in terms of value. But let's go ahead and run the numbers. So we'll take the $5,979 that's due at signing. We'll subtract the monthly payment of $409 from that amount. We'll divide this by 36. And then add the monthly payment of $409 back in, and that gives us a zero down monthly payment of $563 a month, and the MSRP is $49,945. So divide that by 49,945, and you get 1.13% if we multiply this by 100. So 1.12, but 1.13 if we round up. So again, it's a lower zero down monthly payment than the Sierra, but not as good of a lease deal in terms of value. But as you can see here, you do have this lease deal here. So if you qualify for loyalty, The due at signing amount does decrease. As you can see here, the due at signing amount decreases from $5,979 to $4,479 if you have a current GM lease. So $1,500 rebate with loyalty, which makes this lease deal even better. And the fifth lease deal here is the 2024 Ford F-150 STX Super Crew 4x4. The monthly payment on this truck is $399 a month. It's a 36-month lease that requires $5,609 due at signing. This lease allows for 10,000 miles a year. And if we click on offer details, Ford doesn't really give us a lot of details. And one of the things they do is they don't list the MSRP anywhere here. But I did research the MSRP, and I realized that the MSRP on this truck is $52,110. So if we are able to actually refresh this page, because it's not going to, I'm not seeing the numbers. There we go. Let's go ahead and run my 1.25% rule of leasing on this Ford. We'll take the $5,609 that's due at signing. We'll subtract the monthly payment since that's included in the due at signing amount. That gives us $5,210, and then we'll divide this by 36 since it's a 36-month lease, and then add the monthly payment of $399 back in, and that gives us a zero down monthly payment of $543 a month. And if we divide this by this truck's MSRP, which is $52,110, multiply this by 100 to make it a percentage, you get 1.04%. So again, this is a great lease deal, almost a 1% lease deal on a 2024 Ford F-150. And the sixth lease deal is on a 2024 Toyota Tundra SR5. As you can see here, you can lease this Tundra for $449 a month. It's a 36-month lease that requires $3,999 due at signing. As you can see, this is a four-wheel drive Crew Max SR5 with a 10-speed automatic transmission that allows for 12,000 miles a year. And if we go down, you'll see that the MSRP on this Tundra, is $55,119. So let's go ahead and scroll back up. And if we run my 1.25% rule of leasing on this Tundra, let's go ahead and do it. Let's take the $3,999 that's due at signing. Let's subtract the monthly payment of $449, divide by 36, and let's go ahead and add that monthly payment of $449 back in. You get a zero down monthly payment of $547. And if we divide that by this truck's MSRP, which is $55,119, multiply this by 100, you'll see that this Toyota Tundra comes in at just under 1% at 0.99%, which means it's an exceptional and amazing lease deal in terms of value. And the last lease deal on my list is another Toyota. This time we have a 2024 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road. The monthly payment on this is $399 a month. It's a 36-month lease that requires $3,999 due at signing. This also allows for 12,000 miles a year, and the MSRP on this Tacoma is $51,344. And if we go ahead and run my 1.25% rule of leasing on this Tacoma, let's go ahead and do that. We'll take that $3,999 that's due at signing. We'll subtract the monthly payment of $399 from that amount since it's included in the due at signing amount. Divide this by 36, and that gives us an even $100. We'll add the monthly payment back in, and you get a zero down monthly payment of $499 on this Tacoma. And if we divide it by this truck's MSRP, which is $51,344, and multiply this by 100 to make it a percentage, you get 0.97%. So ladies and gentlemen, here's another sub 1% lease deal. Now remember, these don't include tax, title, license. So depending on where you live, that number will vary. But here in Seattle, Washington, we have pretty high taxes and registration fees are quite high. I would say you're probably looking at about an additional $1,500 that can be added to this due at signing amount to account for those things. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's my favorite truck lease deals, and in my opinion, the best truck lease deals in January of 2025. If you feel like I left a truck lease deal out, let me know in the comment section below, and I will be sure to cover it. And at the very minimum, at least check it out. And if you haven't checked out the inventory on DriveMatch.com, be sure to check it out. DriveMatch is a company that I co-founded where you can get pre-negotiated lease deals. So what happens a lot of times with these national ads is, the manufacturers put up these ads, but when you go to the dealer, they don't honor it. With DriveMatch, we'll definitely get you the deal that you see here, and in a lot of times, and in most cases, we'll actually beat the national lease deal as well. But if you have any questions about leasing or any questions about the leases that I mentioned in this video, let me know in the comment section below. But with that, I'm going to call it a video. Financial knowledge is power. Please like and follow for more.